Collective energy reading. Please only take what resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Because if you're stressing, as I always have to say from the beginning, these are triggers of emotions, thoughts, feelings, actions, reactions, all to the way how we do these things. And then you have to listen to yourself and ask why, because that's like when you got these payback karmic consequences, and it's the cycles, and it what goes around, it comes around, and it's settling those accounts. This could be this boss out there, stable, a rich business owner, a CEO, big DICK energy. They're looking now, they're gaining this compassion and connecting to their heart, those emotions, and feeling that unconditional love. They may want to offer you support or even a kind word without even expectations. Take it all as it resonates. And that's looking, they could have freckles, they could be looking and getting that higher clarity, getting connected to the divine, the spirits, getting that wholeness within inside of them. Like this Queen of Swords, that could have been divinating, doing spell work. That could have been a fire sign, water sign, could have been aggressive, dominating over them, resources, physical, mental, emotional aspects to their mind. Take it all as it resonates. Because that person with the freckles on, they've got a sort of brain, and it's like ray, and it's like, was you listening? Did you hear? Did you get that higher clarity of the spirits? Was you connecting to the divine as it gave you and left you with these scars? So they're looking at, because that's by the book. That's when they go back and get this high awareness. They could have like a social awareness of this Queen of Swords divinating. Queen of Wands, sorry. That was like with the actual energy. They may see you as a Queen of Wands, standing strong within your power, got passion, you're loyal, you're caring, supporting, providing, nurturing. You've got high awareness, clarity about certain people that was doing these things in the unknown, that they had snakes and there was fake people taking action, divinating over you with great passion to block you. You had that higher clarity, you had that intellect of knowledge. When certain people was blocking your relationships, you had that lampstead on because you seen it was for pride. They didn't have no self-esteem, no dignity. They wasn't grounded, they wasn't balanced. They didn't know how to move with love, and they was doing it all for your relationships, all for your money, your stability. They could have been doing graveyard magic and all sorts of things, and they wasn't doing it by the books. So now they're getting that spiritual box from the ancestors, because that's that duality. What goes up must come down, and what goes down must come up. So they tried to put you down, and now they're on that wheel. And that's when you have to look, when you're in that hangman position, and you have to see it's justice, balance, legal matters will be taking place. Promise, a wish to be with you, and hard to have that complete trust. It's real. They could be looking at the contracts now in those relationships, and that's that duality. When you was decisive and you didn't make that right-minded choice because you was uncompromising, they maybe want to be able to come and compromise alongside you. Take this all as it resonates. I'll pick some words up. So we're just going to clear this energy first, and we'll just start with one of them. So just turn it down on 1, 2, 3, because people having stress and conflicts in the mind, they might want to be able to travel towards you because it's Mercury. It's that ending, that awakening, you know, you've gone through those emotions, encompass. It's like them church bell sounds of awakening, that higher clarity, high awakening. That's when you get them 3 little birds beside your bedside, singing sweet songs. It's that melody, it's pure as pure. The Most High's letting them know, this is my message to you. So you might not have to worry about a thing, because you know every little thing, it's going to be all right. Even when people are divinating and hating on you, they just need to regenerate and meditate, right? Because things just not unfolding the way I wanted things to be. So they're hating because things ain't folding the way they wanted them to be. They was trying to be able to steal your ideas, duplicate your style, and feed off your creativity. That's why those hating 3. That's why I say take what resonates, leave the rest for the best, because certain people be hating on you because the way how you are enabled to have compassion for yourself. You're creating. How do you do it? How do you change? How do you transform? How do you do it? Encompass those thoughts and those feelings. How do you do it? Continues holding that love within your heart and letting go. How do you do it? Having those chakras motivated. You're enabling yourself to be able to serve it. It's like when you've got these relationships and the ones that are important to you, you still enable that love. Even when you have to hold these boundaries in place, you're still connecting to that wholeness within inside of you, your mind, your thoughts, your body, your soul, That's you having that higher clarity, that awareness, seeking more knowledge, educational to the divine. Mamas worry about their boys. You don't need a big total to see that you don't worry in silence. So you don't worry about your child, but you don't worry in silence. You may speak about it, express the attitude. This divine feminine masculine, they may be worrying now because they're seeing. They may be worrying in silence. They may not be wanting to be able to speak. Love you the moment, divine masculine. I'm looking for more than a man who loves himself. So they could be looking for, you could have told them, payback, I'm looking for a man who loves themselves more than, loves me more than themselves. They could have been like, too in their own element, didn't care, fiery, detached from emotions, thought they was wise, two-faced. They was like too busy flighting, detached. All the same hypocrites. So they was all the same kind of hypocrites. So they could have been hypocritical when they spoke, when they talked, in their attitude, where they acted. I'm trying to tell myself, don't listen. I wanted to have that complete trust, like I'm at war with myself. Something telling me to get up, run, but my heart ain't got common sense. I wanted not to look back. I wanted not to listen, even without. It's like I've got a knife stabbed in me, so now they're feeling like they've got a knife stabbed in them. They're getting that payback. This boss daddy, they wasn't connected to their heart. They didn't have that higher clarity, that awareness. They was dodging and budging their self because of their mindset, because of their ego, because of their pride, because they didn't have confidence, because they was running flighty, detached. They was too like stuck, indecisive of their thoughts. Because you know I'm a little competitive, but loved watching others grow. I took time to learn. I taught myself every day till I had to hold a direct convert. So they had to taught themselves every day to get that higher clarity, have compassion, have that awareness, and compass it from different perspectives. Because of those scars, they may have had to learn and see things from the unknown. That was that doing it by the book. So they had to go and start doing things by the book. Because mamas worry about their child. Or two, mother, for a mother parent could be worrying about your child, where they are, who they're outside socializing with, what they're creating, when they're not creating. And that's when you're faithful, you're practical, and you have to look, because that's when you're anxious, you're caring, you're nurturing, you provide that support. You're unable to be able to see. They could have been around a feminine energy who is now looking back towards them. When you have to connect to your intuitions, that's that balance with that unity, mother, nurturing. That's when you go back to like what you're possessing and how you're possessing, who's taking control. Because possess, I am. So about what you're thinking. So now they could be thinking in regards towards you, cleaning up their mind, their thoughts, the relationships, who they was having a relationship with now. They may be in silence, worrying. So they're saying don't worry, because they're cleaning up their mind, their act. And that's going the distance. Because same hypocrites, that's when you go the distance. And now they could be turning back their mind now, transforming and changing. That's this feminine energy, masculine. The leadership structures, your home, your foundation. That's about your heart, gaining that higher clarity, looking back to those ancestors. And that's like the moon. So those are like your habits and the things that you're feeling, what you hold. And it's insecurities that you don't show every single body. You'll dress that back so not everybody's able to be able to see how you're acting, how you're feeling. That's when you've got to encompass certain emotions. That's in Cancer, because you're protective of your heart and you're selfish. That's when you have to look, or somebody's be able to block you, because that's that private life and it's that deep, most inner spiritual foundation. When you have that awakening, the roots connects to the ancestors. You see that karmic subconscious now, you gain that higher clarity, gain insight, and that's when you get social awareness. This masculine could have been out and everybody had a social awareness of them, things about that, what they was trying to be able to secure with their partners. Now they may be looking back to you because they're seeing they maybe want to be able to come by the book. Community, people in their community, they were going to let you know about these secrets, this family, friends, the significant other that was trying to secure. They was like, I'm trying to be able to possess. So they was trying to be able to possess and speak like the way you're talking, computers. So you could be seeing certain things on computers, the way I use your imagination. They weren't listening to that spirit. Now they're listening to the spirit inside. They're observing you now, because that's when you start getting that higher clarity, transforming. You can see certain people have these hidden skills, blocking you, watching you, socially aware of you, the way you was moving in and able to be able to grow. And that was when you've got that clarity, structures, your foundations because you was doing certain things by the book. They could see you're a high priestess. This masculine's gaining that insight now, looking back towards you. They're connected to their heart. They could be looking and seeking higher clarity, inspiration, wisdom. They could have been too socialized, out partying, flighting, detached, running, not listening to their spirit within inside of them. Now they're getting that understanding about the equals, and when they equal exchanging views, so they may be wanting to be able to come and give you justice. They may be able to seek knowledge, because you know you got to go court, so you might have to seek higher knowledge in regards to this mother figure, father figure. That's when you have to look at the traditions and things, the values, what you was valuing within them roots and that family home, your environment. You could be looking back to their early stages of their environment, about the structures and certain habits, the way how you learn feminine from your mother figure, and when you're having these relationships, and who's out socialising, who's got manners and respect, who was being versatile. They can see now, get optimistic, higher clarity, higher awareness to transform. Ending, they're having a death. Take it all as it resonates. They're looking back at certain people now, so they could see that a feminine, a masculine had these hidden skills blocking to stop you. They could see that you're a high priestess, and they're getting that higher clarity to gain that structure to go that distance alongside you, to be able to connect to their heart, their emotions. That's to be able to take that step, because the way how they was acting, they could be looking back the way how they was acting and having these sexual energies. Take it all as it resonates, trying to secure another relationship. Now they're having stress and conflict within that property, that foundations. They're seeking high awareness. They may need to be able to go to court. Like a kid with a man-sized head, told me he loved me, was not my son, but my spiritual son. So they could be seeing like a man, a child, come and told them they love them. It was not their son, it was their spiritual son. Like that high awareness, the spirit within inside of them. You're just not the person I know. It's your transformation. So they can say it's not, you're not the person I know. They're having that awakening now, because about people being stubborn and possessive. There was being materialistic and in their ego, like stubborn and controlling, and got aggression and didn't have compassion. Their father could be speaking and telling them like you didn't have that wisdom, like elder structures, and to help maintain that relationship, to have that balance, so you're able to be able to go that distance. That's when you're seeking in certain people that can see you and how you hold yourself in public. That's like those social circles, and when you're going for your dreams and the aspirations, now they're realizing, and that you can realize and be creative with your creative dreams. Now they can see like, oh my gosh, I can see who you are. They maybe want to go the distance with you. They may be having to seek higher knowledge because they can see that you're achieving. They communicating. They may want to be able to communicate towards you. How you was nurturing. You was the one who was unable to be able to harmonize. They want to harmonize alongside you, because they're getting that transformation. That's that changing. So you know when you program yourself to be able to come and speak these words, to be able to give you that balance, because they can see their program busting, so they're busting their mind, those thoughts and those feelings. He's going to jail. Nothing you can do to save that. So this divine feminine, masculine, it could be a child. Take it all as it resonates. Could be going to jail. There's nothing you can do to be able to save that. Or because of the way how they was moving, this masculine could have been aggressive. That feminine could be going to jail. Could be a feminine energy who thought they was being creative, wise, two-faced, all in their ego, Gemini energy. I was just trying to make money. So they can say they was just trying to make some money, a quick one. They didn't have no firm foundations, they didn't have structures when they was out with these friends, these family members. Take it all as it resonates. Now they're observing, they didn't see that people were seeing from above. Now they can see that's like authoritative seeking and gaining information that was like truth and justice, laws, that higher wisdom. Job searching, he said, I got no ambition. So a father figure could have says, oh, you could have just said job, you seeked a job. A mother, they've got no ambition to the way how they was moving, to the things that they was creating, because they could have done like money laundering. 2, money, things that you possess. 3, signing. 3, on computer. 7, working alongside other people. 4, trying to secure things. They wasn't looking in that rightful way. That could have been your parents and your fathers, like direct works, like 10th house. So when they see you and how you hold yourself, because it's about resources, possessing, public inheritances, legacies. That's like that house of death, and when people have died and certain people's resort assets and certain things I was doing in extra energies and who they was having relationships with. This is your dream. It's her dream. So this is your dream. It's her dream to observe, to see those things within that unknown, to grow, to have stability, nice firm foundations. That's that 9 going up and gaining that wisdom, fruition, Jupiter energy, that abundance. That's when you got that 9 of Pentacles. You got that firm foundations. You got that balance. You got nice structures. You're able to be able to take them new beginnings and have that comfort, that stability to be able to expand. They may be wanting to expand with you because they can see. They may be looking and seeking information because it's clean up time. It's underneath the moon, the illusions. So they're clearing up those illusions because that's that end of that world. They're having that revelations. That's like looking at your accomplishments. You had to clean up, you let go. You was a high priestess, you used your hidden skills, had compassion, was creative, started speaking, enabling people to transform, look at them from a different perspective, get that higher knowledge, look at it from different cross cultures, different religions, gaining an understanding about diversity. And when people are blocking you, stopping you, release those emotions. Who was loyal, who was real, who was fake, because that was the world, 21. And then he was enabled to be able to grow, so they could be seeking that higher clarity and knowledge, transforming, gaining that balance, structure. The way how they were stubborn, now they're stubborn. They could see how certain people was blocking them, doing spell work to possess, because I am, and that's that physical body. And when the way how they was speaking, talking, communicating about you, that was siblings, neighbours close towards them. Because they could see they was making money and they was working with and making money to be able to block, because that was like, I know it's you, it was a transformation. They was blocking that transformation. You was growing and gaining higher clarity about the way how certain people was possessing, egotistical in that low dense energy, thinking that was being courageous, all because of their pride. But this is your dream, it's her dream. Certain people was doing 4 of Wands, that was for that happy end. But you see they had fears and all illusions, all because of addicts, all because of addictions. Certain people blocking them because of the ego, people being courageous. We're going to follow this through. They wasn't moving with love. You had that inner standing when certain people was blocking and it was trying to plant certain seeds. Like you wouldn't, all because I had a social awareness of you. All because I you was unable to grow, and it was the actions that people was taking. That was like in that home. Now people are connecting to their heart. This is this masculine about the structures. Because they're gaining high wisdom now. That's 15, 16. Sorry. 21 again. Because that's that karmic cycle. They put themselves in that karmic cycle, left the relationship, had the illusions, was running. I'm empowered now. Now I'm connected to my heart. I'm going to act because I feel. And now I'm feeling, I am, and I'm acting because I'm feeling like the way I'm feeling. Like with my ego, now I'm feeling love. Now I'm taking control because I'm looking at these attachments, the world, when I was possessing, trying to create, and I was in that childlike spirit. Now it's like who, where, why, what, when. It's now like in the Hierophant, their mindset. They could have been in that devil energy, certain people blocking them from growing, so they didn't have that high clarity, didn't know how to have boundaries. That was because, you know, when you're stuck and you haven't got that wisdom. And it's like institutionalized. So they could have said, yeah, I will take that forward, and got married. Because those keys, the relationship, now they may be wanting to be able to act now because they are gaining clarity in regards to who, why, what, and when. They can see that sun, they can see you're that sun. They've got a social awareness of you. I'm gaining clarity as to who was blocking. They may be wanting to be able to travel towards you. Because they may be ready to explode now because they didn't, you know, when certain people was blocking and it was like pressure's busting. Ace of Swords, they want to speak this towards you. They see that high clarity. They maybe want to be able to take this action because they may even be seeing about certain police how they didn't have indecisive and they may need to be able to go and gain justice. Police could be blocking them, stopping them in regards to money, travel, information. They may want to be able to travel towards you, awaiting adventures. You maybe have to make some decisions. Certain people have some willpower and some great passion trying to block you. They maybe wanted to set that direction now because They can see that loyalty within inside of you. They're being courageous. People were stopping and blocking because of jealousy. Indecisive because of those choices. Because this moon, this was just business. They was just a cheap sex toy. So it was just business. It was just a cheap sex toy. Things for illusions, extra. Because they felt empowered when they was trying to be able to obtain. That was certain secrets they was holding. Because it was like people's money and resources, your partners. Why does this always happen to me? So why does this always happen to me? Because I was stopping them from money, definitely not unable to grow, and the way they was communicating. My stepdad beat me once again. I left home. My mum lied on the couch and watched again. Left with no money, sleeping on the streets so they could say they had these confusions. I was lying. They got left with no money. They were sleeping on the streets. Now they need to clean up because they seen these illusions. Could have told the truth. Could have been a lie. Now they're feeling like they're left out again because they're on the streets in the mind and they're lost in the thoughts and the feelings because of this world. Have trust. Lean not on your own understanding. So they've got to have trust. Now they're leaning not on their own understanding. They didn't have that trust. They didn't lean on their own understanding. Certain family members, friends, they could have confided in them in regards to their partner, and those naive and they wasn't listening. Geminis were being wise and restless. Taurus, Aries, take it all as it resonates. Scorpios, because it was jealous, vindictive, not speaking the truth, trying to dominate over their mind, over their thoughts, because that was like you know, when you haven't got confidence and compassion, trusting in your gut feeling. Quite your worrying, baby. So quit your worrying, baby. So they're saying, quit your worrying, baby. I'm seeing these illusions. I'm transforming this 4 of Wands because I'm connecting to my heart. I see the willpower and passion. People's clinging on, being selfish and moody. They can see your creativity. They was all up in their ego, all trying to control, binding, forcing. And now they're connecting to their hearts because they're seeing that karmic cycle with people trying to secure this mother figure, father figure. Did you get a seat on the express bus? So now they're saying, did you get an seat on that express bus to move, to travel? I like having my baby home, in his room, in his bed, such as a good baby. So mother, they liked having their child home, in their bed, father figure, mother figure, because they thought like that nurturing, caring, when your child's at home, you know when they're home, you know where they are, they're secure. If he's so good, can you ask if I can get one of those black eyes too? So if that devil energy was so good, can I ask if I can get one of them black eyes too? Because it was demons, aggressive, Aries energy. That's when you take control, because I am and I'm trying to possess dominance over your resources. That's when I've got this great inspiration. I'm feeling impulsive with that bad energy, and I've got to take control over you because I'm self-assured, I'm fiery, and no one can tell me nothing. That kind of person, and box you down. So your family member and friend could be saying, all right, and you had to let go. They could have been doing certain things in the unknown, like conflict. There was bad, horrible. You left them. There wasn't caring, nurturing, giving you that love, support. They could have been arguing and shouting in that home. So yeah, you seen that devil within them. You used your inner skills, took your time, was creative, because all they did was cause conflict and stress. You went towards your new opportunities, evolved, transformed. You looked at your life force. People was in their ego. You gained clarity. You had that discernment. You put those boundaries in place. You kept on growing. And with clarity started speaking the truth about these partners and friends that was blocked socially, mentally, emotionally, blocked. You connected. You seen how they was indecisive and they picked and the partners and the choices, what they made. They was too flight and detached. That could have been a feminine energy because of their values and what they had because of their social worlds, and who was social around them when they was being stubborn. Even the way they spoke, even their inner thoughts, you was unique. You kept on moving forward because they was all in their ego. And that was like when you're out socialising, partying, you're doing music, and who you creating with, and what kind of, the way are you speaking, are you doing being wise, or you're flighting detached from those emotions? Why you always trying to fight? So they was always trying to fight that masculine energy, feminine energy, always trying to fight. You observe, these family members are observing why, where, what and when. It's all coming to light now, truth and clarity, higher awareness as to how people was acting. People are gaining knowledge now about certain people had this aggressive energy. They was blocking their self because they wasn't using their intuitions. That was when like they needed healing. They was blocked because of their habits and things, what they was doing in that unknown, indecisive, didn't have that balance. Because they're in that high front, you could see people are gaining higher awareness now. Will come in and discuss my options. So you went in, they've got to go and speak to somebody now, a mother, father, higher figure, seek sources. That could be like a doctor, guru, and that's like your neighborhood, because that's like going back, say that's like you could be doing counseling. So they've got to be able to go and discuss where's, why's, what's, when's, because I will come in and discuss their options. So they've got to be able to discuss why you're doing that, who did that, when was that, and how. Now they're at the crossroads. They'd be having 5 now, because they'd be trying and find 5 times more as to why they was in that ego, why you was being stubborn, why was you being self-reliant, or what was it for? Was it your life purpose? Are you gaining higher perspective in regards to where, to what, to when? Was it a consciously awoken, knowing why? Was you having that positive self-expression? How was you creating to express yourself? Was you gambling? Who was you gambling with? Who was you taking these risks with? And what children, and who was you creating this with? Was it for a pleasure? And what sensitive outcome did you get? Did you have that higher clarity? Was it done with peace? Because that's a part of the 2 pillars. There's only one, so they may be able to come and give you peace now. If I don't pay that for 2 months, maybe can pay that. So they may be looking now, if I don't pay that for 2 months, maybe I can pay that. Property, if I don't pay that property, service, maybe I'll have to travel and pay that fee. Take it all as it resonates, because that 2 of Wands, that's like finding that willpower to make that decision, having that balance, clarity of mind, moving with love. Are you being creating, and what pleasures was you doing it with? Letting go, letting God. So they could be like that, letting go now, letting God, giving that willpower, just releasing, listen to the spirit within inside of them now. Whatever you got to say in front of my family. So whatever they've got to say, they've got to say it in front of that family. 2 of Wands, that balance, that's like powerful. Speak. Who's being stubborn? Be practical. Making sure you're being reliable when you're trying to be able to possess certain things. So if they're trying to possess money, like your material possessions, like your goods and things, what like you was creating with, like food, and trying to gamble, even having that word of just to speak, just as we're speaking now, because that Chariot, to be able to determine, to be able to move when you've got that balance, making sure when certain people you're being sincere. I feel like a fraud. If they could see past things I've done in the past, they would see me. So if they feel like a fraud because of the things that they done in the past, when they was doing things in secret, blocking and stopping, dominating over resources for money, flighted, detached, not connecting, not having that stability, not having compassion, caring, nurturing, supporting, assisting, and possessions, when they had these conflicting thoughts because of their ego and those aggressive energy for the mind, for stuck, institutionalized, going to prison, and things that they went to prison for. Take this all as it resonates, but that's because they were showing and putting themselves in public, and when they thought they was that paradigm buster, trying to secure things, and that's like illusions, confusions, and the fact that it was like not enabling them to go because it was like things from their parents and the mother, and how they become a parent, and that's their individual self now. They're looking back, all because of how they wanted people to hold them, and they just may have wanted that home in the way how they felt within their roots. Sitting at home all alone, looking at the phone to ring, I feel like a fake, a fraud. So they're at home, the friends, those family members, partners, they're looking at that phone to ring to see if you're going to ring the phone, and but they're feeling like a fraud. They may not even want to be able to talk to you or phone you. This boss daddy, they could be feeling like a fraud because they're getting payback. Breakdown text long, doing it, because they're feeling, you may feel like you're unfazed because you've got this higher awareness, you're growing. They may not want to be afraid, don't care, didn't flinch. You can't shake me because you've got higher clarity when certain people were trying to block you and do spell work on you. Because you seeing that warning, and now they're worrying, baby. They're telling you, don't quit worrying, because they can see that world when people are blocking them, trying to possess your partner. Talking shit, 3 family members blocking you because you have that eye clarity. They was blocking you, talking shit about you at Aries, Scorpio, Sagittarius. Take it all as it resonates. Aries, Taurus, Cancer. Because the 4 of Wands, I'm having my baby in his room. Child services. taking their mother to court. They've got to take that mother to court. Justice. Talking shit. That's what's dropped on the floor. Child services. Because they see why you always trying to fight. Devil energy because of fear. Controlling. Blocking like you didn't have eye clarity. Because they had these fake accounts. Gaining wisdom. Lurking on your socials. Hiding an hidden identity. Can't stop watching you. So they're observing you. Because in case you speak about the people, the aggressive energy in the community, are they having stress, and you have to have the discernment about that fire sign. Aries sign could have been aggressive, controlling, blocking, flighting, detached, didn't have balance. And now you can see who they was working alongside with. They was working alongside many people. They would see, they thought they was innocent and acting like they was innocent. Now they're feeling anxious because that I think they didn't pay. If they don't pay in 2 months, they're not going to be able to pay for that. They're dodging BULTs. That's when they're blocking bad energy, escaping toxic people, haters. So you block them, escape those toxic people. You put boundaries in place. You wasn't able to grow, escape, because they didn't have spiritual wisdom. They were spiritually blocked, emotionally, mentally, physically, psychologically. Because you seen you had to keep on going forward. Now they wanted to be able to keep moving forward towards you, because it says whatever you got to say in front of my family, said what they got to say it for all the court case. They've got to say you dodged this bullet, extra infection, extra dis-ease, because they was in that low dense energy. They've caught a rash of they've caught a sheep in wolf's clothing. So they got to say it in front of their family how they picked shit. They could have picked a family member. They could have a social awareness. Now they want to be able to come and bring you justice now, because they was rebelling against you. Gaining high clarity. Sagittarius. Could have been a feminine energy clinging on. They were spiritually blocked. They were spiritually blind. They could have acted like they was a high priestess and they had high clarity and knowledge. They was blocked. Now they're on this chariot. They want to travel towards you. But they're all played out. And they want to, because they're bankrupt. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally bankrupt. Because they're getting payback. They may want to come and give you a payback. Don't care. Don't flinch. Can't shake me. When you're doing this spell work and people are talking, trying to possess, no filter. Speaking the truth, authentic communication, raw, honest. It's how I really feel about those family members and friends when they was persistent and they was blocked and they was stubborn. They didn't have no self-respect and dignity, lacked confidence, lacked self-esteem. They was like jealous, trying to dominate over resources. Basically, it was bad man and they was jealous of you. They was aggressive because you was inspiring and they was competitive. You was unfazed about these family members and friends because they was just spiritually blocked, mentally blocked. When you see them, you know they look like the lost souls, like they was confused, all because of their personal issues, their money and what they possess and how they possess and how they create and how they speak and what they're communicating with and their partners and their lovers and their choices. Or they was talking shit about you behind your back because you wasn't able to travel around the world. You encompassed, you've gone through things about your lover, your partner, how you was creative and how you wasn't able to use your intuitions when people was chatting shit. Take this all as it resonates, this masculine and the choices what they was making, and they had a social awareness of you and everyone was watching you and blocking your why because they was rebelling and smelling and you was growing and showing who you was and you had this progress. And they was digressing or whatever you want to say because you was honouring. And they're slow as you can go. Because, money moves. So they was trying to block for child services and talking shit about your money moves. So you wasn't able to grow. So they was blocking you doing spell work on your account. Could have been your bank account. Could have been your social account. Could have been Bitcoin and money and you making your money. So it was smart decisions. Like you was not making that right decision. They blocked that masculine from making that right decision to come towards you, to travel. Because of this child now, they got child services, vampire energy, draining, toxic influences. Protect your energy. So that's why you dodged certain BULTs, because they was around vampire energies, draining, taking them out, socializing, partying, extra energies, sucking them dry till they could look like that now. Depleted your energy. You was good, you got let go. Now they're making fake accounts towards you because they're feeling like they haven't got no energy now, all because of the actions that they took. You had higher clarity, introspection, you're grounded, you was connected to the divine. Now they're hidden, watching you. Secret admirer, now they're secretly admiring you, hidden offers, anonymous notes, unknown interest, someone watching. So now all of a sudden they was watching you, they was watching your masculine, you dodged some BULTs. Bottom. Because you was taking a big break. And now they're watching you. They thought they was getting that big break. They can see now. There was wolves in sheep clothing. That me versus me. Yeah, your ego and your pride. Because they needed to do shadow work. They was all played out. Meanwhile, situational, single, feeling creative. They maybe want to be able to come and speak this towards you. I'm single now, but I'm bankrupt. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally bankrupt. Because they see that you've got no filter. Fixture in the community like a landmark. So you're a fixture in the community like one landmark speaking. Forms need to start the process to shut you down. So they try to shut you down. They maybe want to take action now about work and the way you're doing stuff, property, possessions, secrets, your mindset, block, so you're not able to speak. Psychological aspects of your mind, they was trying to F you up. Take it all as it resonates, because that's the house of God, the higher learning, your spiritual searching, the way you was creating and speaking. They was trying to block you, say it would stop. So they was like they was more, like they could publish, like you couldn't publish. You can see them out of laws and judicial systems. It's because of their spiritual belies. You had your complete trust in what you had that knowledge in. Wait in on him. Getting down with that another woman. Also, they walked in on that masculine getting down with another woman. So like, you know, you spoke. Well, these feminines and friends was blocking your actual energies with your partner. You had higher clarity in regards towards this. A family member, a friend, yeah, that was being bad mind, dependent and powerful, blocking and stopping because it was being red eye. Because you had these hidden skills, you was able to use your intuition. They wanted to dominate over your masculine resources and cause stress and conflict within your mind like you wasn't nothing. At the end of the day, of the month, business shut, force beyond my control. So that business is getting shut at the end of the month. The forces are beyond certain controls because they was trying to possess and control certain things. Money moves. You're going to hear about this business, fake news, chatting shit. I have to do something first. Come back, I swear. No. So they'll have to do something, that vampire energy, child services. Before they come back, they've got to go court and justice, get that child. Got locked up. Kid at home. So they could have got locked up, this father, this mother figure, the kid was at home. And now they've got child services, vampire energy. I just never got the chance to tell you how I feel. Thank you. So they want to message you, Secret Myra, tell you how they feel. They never just got that chance to tell you how they feel. You finally found what was looking for. I'm happy for you, Divine Masculine. They found what they was looking for. Fake people, devil energy, awakening to find that balance of people in their community. Fake. Now they're thinking anxiously. Now they're critically analysing. Because that big break. If I knew they was hiring beauty queens, I would have come sooner. So if you knew there was hiring beauty queens, you dodged BULTs, you would have come sooner. Is that man beating on you? Wearing sunglasses, bust eye. So they could have get beaten on. Why, where, what? They've got a bust eye. That man could have been beating on them. That's why they're saying, is that why you got a bust eye? The eye. Because that's me versus me. The word is a lamp on my feet and the light onto my path. Awakening. So now they're having that word onto them. Me versus me. Awakening. High clarity. Yellow. You know the food ain't good. I don't cook. I serve. So they could be facts. They see these wolf in sheep in clothing. They don't cook, they serve. Stress. So they don't wash themselves, they serve. Born. Pum pum. Energy. And now they've seen that shadow work. Old me would have switched. So that old me would have switched because that divine feminine masculine was played out. There's family members and friends who had a social awareness of you, trying to block you, lying and saying you didn't have that eye clarity because they wanted you, man. I love you so much, but I love me more. So they could be saying, I love you so much, but I love me more. You love you so much, but you love them so much, but you love them more. 39. You have to connect, have compassion for yourself, have that spiritual wisdom, grow. Have that inner standing to be able to overstand. That was ending karmic cycles. Now they're looking back and they could be ending these karmic cycles now because they're getting brave. They could be thinking, oh my days, how am I going to move forward because of these fake smiles? You've had that big break. They're looking for their big break because people was talking SCIT and they was all played out. Now past due, that was old school stuff, boo. Now they're like getting bankrupts because they now have to look and seek that higher clarity of when you're putting your money and who you were serving and who you was creating with. Take this all as it resonates, guys, because when certain people are blocking you because they're institutionalized within their mind, it's like you want to do spell work, you want to take up a tarot card and you want to be able to divinate over people. Divination is Haitian, divinate, hate. So they hating you, but they only hating themselves. So what goes around, it comes right back around. It's like complexities in life. You have to go through those virtues to be able to recognize who's real. Have compassion within yourself. Because when you stop to people be blocking you, your love, your relationship. Because that's you illuminating the darkness. That's what's dropped on the floor, guys. 444, high clarity within your mind. Connected to your divine ancestors, the spiritual, guys. People don't want you to get connected. That's you having that intimacy with you and being open to those emotional connections. It's built, and when it's built on trust, no one can't bust it up because you have that vision. Be prepared in that present. Have that love for yourself. Dream big. Map out that highest potential, and that's without limitations. That's you looking at the illusions, high clarity, awareness, connected, that discernment, third eye chakra activated and open, heart chakra open. That's when you're mastering your craft and you're knowing, you're listening, trusting to your gut feeling. You see when these people are trying to block you, when they're coming with these promises, the promises are comfort to a fool. So you see people have got to show with that action because you're not limiting yourself in no current circumstances. You see the potential that you've got and go beyond current limits because that's about you growing and that's healing and that's you recovering from trauma and that's willing to be able to heal together. They maybe want to be able to come and heal with you now because they can see that growth, that matureness, that fertility and that cycle. That's when you end karmic cycles, encompass, you go around the world. Been around the world and back again. That's when you have to look and you have to speak to a friend. That's the spiritual guys. That's like the three little birds beside my doorstep singing these sweet songs, singing it pure as pure. This is my message to you, so don't worry about a thing. Every little thing's going to be all right when you get that healing. Who's thinking about you is this person. Curly hair could be significant. Wavy hair could be significant. Tattoos, they could be in their emotions. Certain people's like divinating, butterflies, transformation. Round face, glasses. Round face with love and cleansed and clarity. High perspection, pure-minded. Blue eyes because you've got that introspection. Clarity. Grounded. Hazel eyes could be significant. That stability, grounded, connected to the divine. Whoa. Beard. That's wisdom. Gaining strength and compass. Piercings. That's when you're strong and you know you're ready to bore some O's. Medium hair. And average height could be significant. Take this all as it resonates, guys. Older than you. This person could be older than you, slower than you, not wiser than you. Because of your intelligence, you was able to illuminate the darkness. You had that high clarity, that all-knowing. You was like the bridge that like interconnected because you seen those challenges. You had that wishful. Certain people had wishful thinking, trying to block you. They didn't realise you was piercing. You seen those things, people on peace was piercing on you. You felt that energy. They was played out too. Take this all as it resonates. We're just going to get some letters. See if any letters help. Oh no, we're not going to take it out. That H definitely wants to come out. So H could be significant. HR, they could have to go HR, human resources. Definitely. Rim, they could be looking at certain things from the rim. They could be connecting to the rhythm. Jim, Tim could be significant. Z could be significant. G, they want to go. They've got mortgage. E could be mortgage. That's about that pay, so they may have to pay. There's more than one there. Take this one. U could be getting justice. Take the bottom one, P. Up. So say get up, might, merit. Could have guilt, no L. Horse, that's like fire, hour. So they could have my hours, got to get out, get up. Could have to get out. They'd have to put out. To. Her. They could be putting her out. Me. Take this all at a house. They could put him at a house. D could be significant. F could be significant. Oh, take this all as it resonates, guys.